Kef Connect. Conversations that matter. Tune in every week for interviews with industry trendsetters and community changemakers that will instill inspiration and ignite action. Visit www.kefholdings.com and click Kef Connect to listen.
Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another episode of Kef Connect. Kef Connect is the podcast series that makes a difference, connecting listeners to the trendsetters and trailblazers, creating an impact in their industries and communities. Kef Connect is a platform for embracing the stories that matter to instill inspiration and ignite action. As you know, this season is called So Money, and we've been talking to women, to kids, to teenagers, moms, business officials, you name it. And today we are speaking to some key opinion leaders, quote unquote, known as influencers in the mass terms. So I'm going to first introduce to my left Nuruddin El Yusuf. Nuruddin and I go way back, and when I say way back, we don't want to talk about our age, but he is a prominent bilingual TV presenter, a brand influencer, an MC, and basically a personality who's known for his wide professionalism as well as his charm. He's also won the Best Khaliji Presenter Award in 2013 and comes with, should I say how many years of experience?
Yeah, that's fine.
17 years of experience in media and events.
It's actually 23 now.
It's 23.
Nice.
The thing is, I think a lot of people also forget that Nuruddin has been on our television screens since he was 8 or 9, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Yeah. So he's quite the influencer in the sense of that. So there's a lot that I can say about it, but we're going to leave it for the conversation. And then I want to introduce my second guest, Miss Naomi De Souza, who I only got the privilege to meet maybe a few years ago.
Yeah.
Because we work in the same industry and we also love the same concept of gastronomy. She has got a master's of science in mechanical engineering by degree. She is a digital strategist by profession and a content creator by passion. So when we talk about the word influencer, looking at someone who is in the media journalism space to someone who's an engineer, strategist, creator. So I think the combined efforts of these two individuals, leads up to close to about 3.5 decades approximately. And she's been recognized, as one of the hot 100 most influential Asians and influencers, and ranked at the top 30 sites in the UAE with over 1 million views as well. So she's got quite an interesting journey. If you're hungry, please do not watch her videos all the time. You should watch it when you are purchasing something. All right, so let's get into it. We conducted a study, and it was revealed that social media influencer, so SM influencer, and YouTuber are among the top career paths that children wish to pursue in the future. Let's start with Nuruddin. How do you feel about that?
Why me?
I want to get you excited. I want to hear. Everybody
course.
wants to hear your voice.
Tell me.
What do you feel about that?
I'm trying to be optimistic, but I feel it's more negative than positive, honestly speaking. The world is changing. There are so many opportunities, so many, look at UAE now. The space. We're invading the space. Yay! So I think kids should be excited more about, doing more beneficial, useful things to the community.
Yeah.
And why we started with this question?
No, because it's a tough question. And so what I want to ascertain from this particular question is, you are in a space that back in the day was considered not really an interesting subject matter. I've been in the television space as well. And the first thing that when I wanted to study journalism, I was told what are you going to be after you study journalism? Are you going to be a TV presenter? And so it was considered such a negative connotation. Whereas being in the social space right now, because it's gained some clout over a period of time, and the last I would say maybe 5 to 8 years approximately, people see it as a very lucrative type of business, So is it something that young people should aspire to be? Because you are in the social space.
I am, of course, but I have my job.
Yes.
I'm a full-time TV presenter, let's say, and I'm seeking another career in acting.
Yes.
But social media for me is just a space to speak up my mind, talk about things that I love to talk about. It's just like my personal space. And I honestly speaking, like most of the influencers that they depend 100% on social media, now they're shifting to do other things. They're opening other businesses because they're not sure if this is sustainable or not. So this is my question. Like, if the study is showing that kids are moving towards like being a YouTuber, TikToker, Instagrammer, whatever you call it, like social media personality, because they just see the charm of it. They just see like, the bright side of it. They don't know what happens behind the scenes. They don't know the struggle. I'm not going to say I will say the influencers go through to create content, or content creators is not an easy job. And are we guys sure if social media will stay there, like it's going to be there forever? We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, TV is a different story.
Yeah.
Let's say TV has like a huge history of like, inventing TV, establishing a TV station. It's like a full industry. I'm not sure about social media, if it's an industry, or not.
Yes.
Even though like, yes, I did like 2 months of studying masters. It was something to do with social media, but I don't take it seriously until now, with all of my respect to all influencers. I don't find it sustainable. I don't find it so serious. I mean, it's a virtual life at the end of the day.
Yeah.
What we see, like, are let's say the kids' new role models are not there with them. They don't see their, I don't know. I think it's all staged.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Naomi? Because I have a follow-up question on this as well.
So with me taking my journey into consideration, I was studying mechanical engineering, and then I got into social media purely by passion. And I was posting the most random molten chocolate cakes, cookies on my page. And my friends started tagging their friends started tagging their friends. And by word of mouth, entrepreneurs alike who have kids, so they would come to know about me. And then we would start collaborating. But I still had my career path set in place. And for me, it stemmed purely from passion. I didn't even know in Dubai back then that there was a thing called blogging. I had no idea about it. I didn't even know that I could post something online and I could get paid for it. So I think with social media, mostly influencers, I would say, it's kind of divided between two. One thing would be people get into it by passion, because I feel the Gen Zs and millennials, they are very visual people. Everything is by eyes, or your sensory organs, basically your taste, your smell, everything. So I feel the only way they can showcase themselves is through social media. And unfortunately, it is a harsh truth that if you are not on social media, you don't exist at all. So so that boils down to the fact that everyone has social media. So when you have a platform, that's your own little home. Yeah. So you do want to make something off of it. You do want to decorate your house. You do want to make it aesthetic and pretty. And then at the end of the day, the other thing is, now with COVID coming in, everything is digital. So what do you see online? What do you listen to? What do you see? You watch creators. So for me, I would say, like, even for myself, I would say I'm a digital creator versus, an influencer, because there's so many creators. You post one video and it can go viral on TikTok. And then I don't think you should suddenly be coined as an influencer. You're a digital creator. Yeah. And then I feel people think it's easy money, that if you create good content, some people create good content, some people not so, and that's in every industry. So if you do produce good content and you do get the traction, and then it just goes up from there, and then you get monetized, and then you get money. And I personally feel at the end of the day, every single human being literally in this world, they want to make their ends meet. Yes. It's their bread and butter. And if you can get good money out of social media, so be it. But yes, like you said also, Noor, that social media can any day tomorrow, it can just go away. The only thing that you have with you is a business that you create, or your own domain, which is a website. Which is why when I started off with Instagram, not knowing that I was a blogger as well, for me, blogger is someone who has a blog, not an Instagram. Yes. An Instagram is an Instagrammer. True. So then after a year and a half, that's when I opened my own domain, because social media can shut down, but NaomiDeSouza.com cannot be taken away from me. Yeah. And and then hopefully in the future, I do also have my own business after I permanently leave tech, probably. So that's how I personally see it.
You both have said some really interesting things, and I like how we looked into your journey as well. Noor, I know for you it was a natural progression and transition of just being in social, because you're already in that public space. Yeah. So you said something that was really interesting, because people don't see the hard work in there. And I think, Naomi and myself and a few others also discussed that there's a lot of hard work that goes into into
A lot, yes.
content creation.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of responsibility that goes in there. So it's a very iceberg effect. People only see the top 10%. Do they see how much time and effort, facts, research that needs to be done behind a post? I know Noor, for example, does quite a lot of video content, which is very thought-provoking. Can you tell us the effort and the amount of energy that it actually takes to produce something like that? Because people need to understand, especially young people, that being on the social space means you are liable for what you say. So
interesting. Well, honestly speaking, like lots of people, especially Gen Zs, as you mentioned before, I like this terminology. It's very funny for me because, like, a few years back we used to say, millennials, and now Gen Zs. Okay,
we're millennials.
We're millennials, of course.
Yeah, we all are.
So they just like, text me on Instagram specifically, and they're like, how come you're so confident and you speak with confidence and you come up with these topics? And I always tell them, like, it's not as easy as you think, but it's very nice to do it because I do it out of passion, as you mentioned.
Yeah, it comes from the heart.
Yes, because it comes from the heart. That's why it's like talk from the heart. This is the segment I do on IGTV. So I always encourage them to find your own platform. And I'm so proud that there were so many, like, I would say girls more than guys, honestly speaking, that I gave them an advice to start on social media if you want to seek a TV career. Because, it's not easy to approach a TV station.
Yes.
But it's so easy to approach your phone.
Yes.
You have your phone.
Yes.
Grab your phone and film whatever you want to film. And then just you can check the feedback. And then, with your experience, with what you're passing through, whatever you feel like sharing on social media. And I always advise positively more than negatively, but just be yourself.
Yeah.
And then you find yourself. But I would say social media is not easy like TV.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
You have to come up with a concept. You have to find a team to do it. It's not everything with your phone. It's not everything by yourself. Especially if you want to create a good content, and I'm sure you agree with this. If you are a content creator, as you said, or a digital creator, which is a very nice terminology, and I love it, because not everyone is an influencer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you need a good videographer to click with. You need to set on the editing. You have to come up with ideas that are unique. You cannot copy paste all the time.
And especially when you start off, you don't have your own team. You're supposed to do everything yourself.
Exactly.
Like, you should be the person who choreographs it. You should be the one who shoots it. 100%. You should be the one who edits it.
And when you start, you don't have this confidence to do everything by yourself. And you hesitate. Is this right? I'm going to do it again. And I'm just going to throw it on social media and, test water. I'm going to see what's going to happen. Yeah. It is a very nice, interesting journey if you love it.
Yeah.
If you're doing it just to get money out of it, trust me,
it's not going to work out at all.
Yeah.
And you have to be unique in your own way, because there are so many creators in this world.
That's
so it's
true.
like, if you're not unique and if you're posting what everyone else is posting, how does that set you apart from everyone else?
That's so true. And you can't keep up. Every single day there are new creators,
every day there's
new
a new
influencers.
trend.
I'm so new to TikTok, for example, and TikTok is a big thing in
Me
UAE
too,
now.
yeah.
Yes.
For me, I see lots of even media students, and they say it's like, I'm a media student on TikTok, and they have their own content nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. I'm getting to know them. I thought I'm the one who knows all the media students because I always go to universities to visit them. But no, there are so many new, I would say, influencers, digital creators.
Yes.
Every single day. So the flow of information, the flow of videos, visuals, the content is out there. But how would you filter it as well to be a good influencer or a good content creator?
And also platforms as well, right? And one of the things that I wanted to turn my attention to Naomi as well. You and Noor as well, you diversify your content as well, and you're diversifying their platforms.
Yeah.
And so that also goes into diversifying your business model, because you're an engineer by education, not necessarily by profession, but you're, from the professional space, you're in the tech side, but in the passionate space. So you have
She's a food engineer now.
She's a food engineering strategist.
I love that. I love that.
I believe in everything being a trifactor effect, right? Because you need to have a various, what makes Naomi Naomi, or what makes Noor Noor, is that you have different elements that cater to your progress or your success. And I think the biggest issue, because we have a question, is, you answered it, is should you think of social media as your only source of income, right? And what if you're unable to sustain it? Then what do you do?
And because it just takes one wrong move.
Yes.
To end your career. And that's ended
To be
publicly.
terminated.
Yes.
To be terminated.
Yeah, terminated. yeah. I think that's a better word to be used. Yeah.
The rise and fall.
Exactly, because the thing is, if you rewind back to like tens and hundreds of years before, like people, if people had to be noticed, or their brand had to be noticed, you would have to rely on billboards, magazines, and billboards to just have 600,000 cars pass under them. That alone would be like 1 million dirhams or dollars or whatever. But now it's like you said, no, I just need to pick up my phone and talk about any cause, or talk about myself or anything, and done. That's it. And for $1, like a Facebook ad, I can just promote it,
Yes.
versus a billboard and things like that.
Yes.
So it's so easy to get yourself out there, but it's as hard to remain there.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
so hard.
And also the competition is quite wide range, What makes Naomi different from somebody else who does something very similar to Naomi? Or what makes Noor, for example, better than the competitors, for example, within the same space? Because the two of you cannot compete against each other. What you do is two very different things, even though you're in the same space. So finding your niche, I think, is also equally important.
Yeah, and the thing is, it was hard enough, like we are all millennials, it was hard enough to keep up with millennial trends, and now Gen Zs have come out of nowhere. So now I can relate to my mom, like the baby boomers, who go like, Naomi, I don't understand you at all. And now I'm looking at my sister and I'm like, dude, what are you talking? I don't understand your lingo. I really don't.
That's
so she
so
has to
true.
translate.
Yes.
So whatever my sister says, I need to tell her, can you please say it in like normal English? Like forget millennial lingo,
Simple
or
English, please.
like just talk to me normally and I'll understand it. Like she's saying something and I would take it out of context sometimes.
Yeah.
So then I can relate with other people taking things that probably I would say out of context.
Yeah.
It's just
My kids the other day, I have two boys, Dej and Zayed, 8 and 6. They were like, Mama, do you know that Messi is called GOAT?
what?
Greatest of all time.
Wow. Okay.
God. Now, if someone would have called me a goat, I would be like, how dare you're insulting me.
But do you see the context?
Yeah.
All right, we'll switch it around because I want to ask you a question, because I know Noor has gone through it, but I don't know if you've gone through it. Have you ever taken a sabbatical or a social detox?
Oh, no, I've never done
Oh, I've done it so many times, and it's amazing. It feels so good.
Why?
Oh, I'm just a human being. I get affected by everybody, with
Yeah.
all the information flow, with all the content. And sometimes you feel like I'm left behind. I'm not keeping up with the pace. And you feel like you have
How
to
long?
just like... the
Like, what's
longest
the
period
longest?
was 16 days.
Wow,
Yes.
that's over 2 weeks.
It's a lot. And I go through like a proper detox. I only keep WhatsApp because unfortunately
Right.
everybody works on WhatsApp. Which I
Yeah,
don't
no,
like.
that's true.
Yeah, but I delete social media from my phone.
That's
I don't have them.
amazing.
It's not like, I have Instagram, but I don't get to open Instagram because I know myself, subconsciously
Yeah, of
I'll open
course.
my phone. Oh, Instagram. Oh, sure.
And if you get a notification, you're bound to just
I don't
like
have
click it some-
notifications.
Yeah, okay.
No,
got it.
zero notifications on my phone. And I feel it's really good and it's needed to do it from time to time. And honestly speaking, I'm so proud of myself that I influence influencers. And I think this is the first time I'm saying it. I do influence influencers. Lots of influencers, they do text me on inbox saying, we tried it and it's amazing, but we cannot talk about it because we don't want to lose audience, which I don't care
Right.
about.
Yeah.
Because I'm not here to
Yeah,
collect
that makes
audience.
no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm creating content. If people
Yeah.
likes my content,
And you're
they
being
can-
you. Like, it's not about
Yeah.
really like pleasing
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
as such.
So you've never taken a social detox?
I have never done it. The main reason being it was a bit a bit different for me. It's because it wasn't my full-time job.
Yeah.
For me, it was my passion, and that's how it started. For me, social media, like I use social media just like anyone else. For me, it wasn't like, oh, I'm doing it and then it's draining me out. It was nothing like that. When I was taking a break from work, you obviously resort to social media or shows and things like that. So that is how I saw it. But now, considering the my page is gaining more traction, now I feel kind of like drained out. But sometimes it's hard. The reason it's hard to take a detox is because now, I mean, considering now there's COVID as well, everything is moving digitally and everyone wants to collaborate. There are lots of campaigns, there are collaborations. So sometimes like, okay, I could probably take a detox for like 3 days or 5 days or something, but like every week there's something.
Yeah.
Every week there's something. So again, it's like, it's kind of like my job as well.
Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, what do I say no to? What do I say yes to? This brand is amazing. Like Oreo approached me the other day. Am I going to say no to Oreo? Like, I love Oreo.
I love Oreo too.
Yeah, I love Oreo.
Send them my way.
This is the fear of missing out.
FOMO.
Yeah.
It's called
I think that's that.
So
Like
FOMO, JOMO.
Yes, yeah. So for me, it's FOMO. Yeah, literally. Like, I'm not going to say no to Oreo.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
Oreo.
Yeah. You said something that's it's quite interesting also, and Nuruddin, because Noor is like, it doesn't matter if I lose my audience or not. And you've said actually you've gained a lot of traction. One of the questions that a lot of people have is, how do you grow your followers? Now, I just want to make it very clear, to all of our listeners and our watchers, because we're being videotaped as well, is that this is not a workshop on how you should grow your Instagram followers, right? And so rather than speaking about the mechanics, because there's a lot of things that people need to understand about channel growth that have nothing to do with the person or the content, but it has everything to do with the algorithm. So we're not going to discuss the algorithm of what Instagram
100%,
does,
yeah, for sure,
or what YouTube does as
Why
well.
not?
No, because you know what? I think it is a very important subject, but I feel the technicalities of it, you would need to have people from those industries also
Definitely.
be present.
It's not always the
Yeah,
algorithm.
yeah.
I mean, it is, but it's not always. yeah.
Exactly. So it does play a role in the channel growth, because people just assume that, just because you're in the social space and you become popular, and a lot of people are like, oh, well, I took a picture with Noor and then I took a selfie with, Naomi, that they're automatically in that space. And so they're privileged enough to be followed. So why should you get follower growth, and how do you actually grow it? Grow, even if it's a growth of 0.7% or a growth of like 3%. How does it happen, Noor?
I think it happens organically. I never thought of it. I never thought of I want to increase my followers. I always thought of how would I increase the quality of my content, and how would I increase the interaction on my posts, honestly speaking, because
and frequency too, I think.
yes,
right?
yeah, because you get to a point where you are ghosted, let's say, on social media.
Shadow ban, ghosted.
Yes, it's a fact, yeah, and it happens.
Yeah.
So
you've never bought followers?
No, never in my life, and I don't believe in it.
Okay.
You know me in person. I never.
What do you think? I know you,
Yeah.
but these guys are listening.
My followers, I'm not fake, please. If you buy followers, you are a fake person. You're not true to yourself.
Yeah.
Period. That's it. I'm not gonna say more.
Yeah. What about boosting your content?
I tried it a couple of times to do paid advertisement to promote the show, Kalam Min Al-Qalb.
Yes.
And I didn't like it because honestly, again, I'm not gonna judge Instagram or Facebook. How does it work for them? Because they're not too transparent. I have to be very honest and blunt about this when I ask about it. So the more you advertise, the less you get interaction, so you pay more. This is my experience. I'm talking about my personal experience.
I've seen that as well.
Commercialization, yeah.
There you go. So if you're boosting a content, they drop your content so you can pay more to boost it again. So it's about
It's a vicious cycle.
You said it.
What about you, Naomi? What do you think about the Noor obviously said grow your followers organically, and so you've worked on that, but similar questions apply as well.
So the thing with me is I love experimenting. Okay. And I'm very honest and blunt about that, and by proof it's even on my website. I do a lot of research on Instagram influencers, aka also myself, how many story views do we get, how many live views, so and so. So when I was at around 9,000 followers, that was years and years and years ago. That is when it really picked up, where everyone was buying followers. There were apps and things like that. And I wanted to experiment. I purely wanted to experiment, and I bought like just 300, 400 followers.
Okay.
Not more. But after I did that, it went in a week. Because when you buy followers, you lose it. So that is what I really wanted to experiment with. And I love experimenting. I mean, people who know me know that I love experimenting. So I wouldn't say that, I haven't bought followers and things like that. I've done it. I've experimented, and don't do it because it's useless, because it ruins your graph at the end of the day, no one else's. And then I just stopped. Yeah. In terms of gaining followers, for me, I see it a bit differently, because again, my thing started off as passion. When it started picking up, I realized it opened doors for new opportunities for me. Yes. So that is when I was like, okay, I want to increase my followers. So it so happened that, I was working. I got a job at IBM. And at the same time, I wasn't going to leave IBM just because my media thing was kicking off. Yeah. And I was only posting food. But then I got invited by the Milan Tourism Board, and it was in collaboration with Emirates. And then it was a Milan food tour. And then at the same time, I got obviously a complimentary hotel stay. And I made use of that opportunity, and I started posting about hotels. And just by doing that, I suddenly went into lifestyle blogging as well, because many people started noticing that that's what I'm doing, and that opened more doors for me in my tech career. So I got called for TED Talks. So I've done 3 TED Talks now, and then I got called even for STEP conference. And why did they do that? Because people know that I exist.
Yes.
To just put it very straightforwardly. So I am all about feminism. Like I want equality. It's not about women. For me, it's like equality.
You believe in equality?
Yeah, I believe in it.
I believe in equity. I don't believe in equality.
Me too.
How would you define both?
So there is no such thing as 50-50.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. It's basically you get what you know. So that I do believe in that.
You create it differently.
Because equal would be like, okay, this is my sheet of paper.
Yeah, so you take that.
If I fold this, okay, it's supposed to be like for like. But technically, it's not, because the words on this side is probably heavier than this side.
Exactly. So no. I agree. So that is what I believe in. Okay, scratch that out. Yeah. So the thing is, because I believe that with genders, it's not like men are more superior to women and vice versa. I've started speaking a lot about women, and many of my followers have spoken to me saying that, I thought it was only me who was suffering with this.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel proud of my platform, that I have given dogs so many homes. I've helped shelters out, and I've helped so many women as well. So I find pride in that. Yeah. So for me now, it's like, okay, I want to grow my page. Obviously, it's like for myself as well, because it is beneficial to me, and for helping the community.
Your communities.
That's
as well.
nice.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like both.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years, Noor?
I never think of these questions.
I never can answer that question.
Me too.
Okay, maybe 10 is too far.
I get this a lot on, when I go live on Instagram or TikTok. Where do you see yourself in 2 years and 5 years? Because I think we are programmed to ask these questions.
Yeah.
But I've never seen myself somewhere. I always believe it's my destiny. Khalas, everything is it's written for me. What's written is written. But of course, I have dreams. I want to have my own production company, let's say, to produce digital content and TV content.
Yeah. Maybe I should have reworded it. I think what sort of goals have you set yourself up for the next few years, rather than where do you see yourself? That maybe that's
very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's a very nice question.
Yes, Aida, go for it.
I would love to be a successful actor.
Yeah. I like that.
And I want to keep going with inspiring youngers, let's say, to start their career on TV, especially because I still believe on TV. Yet everybody is saying TV is dying, and I don't believe TV is dying. It's just the psychology of watching TV, the psychology of watching content is changing.
I've never watched so much TV in my life than I have in 2021.
Literally. And Netflix. It's like
that much. I've been homebound.
Which is the same thing, digital content.
Yeah,
you're consuming content, visual content, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So,
but actual television, even OSN and
me
shows,
too. Me too.
Not just Netflix alone. I feel I'm drained from the Netflix Like, are you still watching? Yes, of course. I'm still watching.
Yeah, but now OSN
Been there, done
and
that.
OSN doesn't ask me this question, so you can. Okay,
So you consume,
Yeah.
yeah,
but I also consume radio,
that's nice.
and I also
Yeah.
consume podcasts, and so I don't get my
I
information.
started consuming podcasts recently.
Yeah, my consumption of information, and so the reason I'm asking this question is because I want the listeners and the viewers to understand that where you get your content from really needs to boil down to where do you visualize yourself in a certain space, and if you're going to be in more than one space, so television, MC, social, potentially TikTok, actor, website, tech space, lifestyle, charity. So there's a lot that's happening in the human mind, and I think, again, going back to that point, people see the 10% and a really nice photo or a really nice curated dance on social, and they assume, khalas, your life is glamorous. That's it.
That's true.
all the time.
Yeah.
Or the total opposite, or
Yeah.
they judge you for something you're trying to do,
Yes.
which is part of your personality.
Yes.
Like, I'm being judged recently because I do the transition videos of changing clothes or stuff
Yes.
like this, like styling, I
Yeah.
would say,
Yeah.
videos. Yet I have my own
Yeah.
show on Instagram, and I have my quotes. I mean, I'm still who I am, but there is a bit of my personality that you've never seen, guys, before. So
I love Nuruddin's plop on the bed when he does staycation. Naomi, what about you? What are your goals? Where do you foresee your goals within the next 2 to 3 years?
So with me, my goal. So when I was growing up, again in the career space, it was really bad for me. Really, really bad. I would be great at my job, but if I would do probably one mistake as a graduate or as a junior, people would think that, oh, I'm getting distracted by media, and vice versa. People would never believe the fact that it's hard to believe until you're probably in that situation. It's very hard to believe that you can excel in 2 careers together. And I'm an Indian, I'm a woman, and I am very young. So that is something that I have been looked down upon several times, like countless number of times. So for me, ever since that happened and I got a platform, I kind of made it like my goal, my motive to keep speaking about empowerment, like I said, and equity. and equity. And because I feel it's not just racism now.
Yeah.
It's even about ageists. Because if
or
you're young,
or colorism.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
discrimination anyway.
Yeah, and if you're any sort of discrimination.
Yeah.
So for me, I had a campaign once with Nissan, and I mean, long story short, they insulted me. I mean, the viewers insulted me on being an Indian and being a woman and being young, and I was like,
Wow.
what?
For driving a car?
No, so basically I was promoting do not use your phone while driving. So it was just that was the Nissan campaign. So that was a video, and then they were like, accidents on the road don't happen because you're using your phone. It happens because of Indians. You won't believe it, because of India, and some comments because of women. Have you seen your age? And I'm just reading these comments and I'm like, whoa. Let's take a minute of silence.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you raised that, because I was going to ask you
Labeling
guys,
is
have you?
disgusting.
yeah,
Sorry,
so
labeling
ever
is
since that
disgusting.
happened, I was like, so I try to spread awareness as much as possible. So for me, I mean, as cliche as this sounds, I kind of just want to make the world a happier place, and especially many people say this world is not for women because of so many issues, and let's not get into that. But so I've always wanted to make it a point to spread awareness, and even about the fact that when I learned how to make good CVs through IBM, because there were crash courses and things like that, I ensured I put that on YouTube. And now I wasn't monetized back then, nothing of that sort. I was just helping people, and it got hundreds and thousands of impressions. And because it genuinely helped people, and they got jobs after that.
Yes.
They actually got jobs, and I was shocked and I was so happy.
Yeah.
So for me, my motive is to continue making that sort of content to help people out and organically even increase my follower base. So one day I also know at the same time what my business can be, that can benefit me and the people around me. So not just to have a business to, like for me, money. It's even for the people, how I can hire people or help people out. Yeah.
Money comes and goes.
Exactly.
So I want to move into we're coming towards maybe a 10 to 12 minute segment. So I want to do a couple of fireball. But what I want to do for the listeners and the audience who are watching this as well is to kind of maybe summarize a lot of the conversations that we had as well. So we are talking about being in the social space. And so the conversation here today is whether or not you should consider a career path in the social media space. So being an influencer comes with a lot of responsibility, right? It comes with the responsibility of managing the conversation, managing your peers, managing your constituents, because obviously, young people are going to be watching you. People who are maybe not in a very good space, those who are depressed might go into a lot more depression. Those who are super ambitious might do something illegal or inappropriate to get to an even higher, ambition space. So create meaningful, impactful, relevant content by actually understanding who you are based on the passions, working hard, coming with an actual background. So both my guests today are educated, as in they hold degrees. So if today Instagram decides to shut down, she can get a job somewhere else because she knows how to build CVs, but she can also teach Noor to build a better CV. Noor has also been in the acting space, but is also in the media space, and it's quite variety. And he's taken sabbaticals out of social media because it's not a necessary need. It's a nice want, but it's not something that you would need to keep consistency in your life. Also, what you do see on social media has to reflect a lot of authenticity about who you are as a person. And so I don't wear a lot of makeup, and I don't care, actually. But I can't survive without eyeliner. And so, I get a lot of comments like, oh, why don't you do this with your skin? And I don't care. So just doesn't matter.
For me, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
What's your skincare routine? What the hell? I don't want to talk about it. If someone is paying me money to talk about it, I would do it. But no, hell no. It's just like genetically, I have good skin. Okay, fine. It's so weird.
Exactly.
Sometimes I go live on Instagram and someone is like, why you're putting makeup on? Naam, I don't have makeup on my face. It's just like they love to judge and assume on social media. It's just like their passion.
So I have 3 fireball questions, okay? And I need you to tell me either top 3, top 5.
Okay.
Number 1, what would you advise parents or caretakers or teachers, school system, whatever, about their younger constituents, Gen Z, when they decide that they want to go into the social media space and become an influencer? You can direct it to the parents or you can direct it to the kids.
I would say parents for sure. Try to find what your kid love and focus on it. A hobby, for instance, something, if she wants to become a doctor, get her doctor toys. I know this sounds so cliche, but it's a fact because I see this like with some of my nephews and nieces because I have a lot, mashallah, and some of their parents are too smart. They know what to do. And honestly, I mean, sorry to say this as well, like, inshallah, no one is watching or listening from my family. The others are not that smart to know what their kids want.
Yeah.
So
I was just thinking of that,
Yeah, monitoring kids is so necessary, honestly. What are they watching? What are they consuming? Like when I see my sister, monitoring what her daughter is watching on YouTube, and she tells her, mommy, this is not really good for you. And she, in a very nice way. And she goes like, but mom, I like makeup. She's like, this is a better way to watch makeup.
Yes.
So this is very nice. I find it so nice. It's actually beautiful. But when other parents are like, no, my kid will not eat if she's not watching YouTube. This is so dangerous to me.
Agreed.
So if someone has a hobby, try to focus on the hobby. And why not bring up those things to social media?
Yes,
why not?
So complement what the passion is all about and have it on the side. Yeah. What about you, Naomi?
I think it's exactly what you said. I thought of the same thing because touch wood, my parents are so supportive, given the fact that, I mean, I'm an Indian woman, because there's so many Indian women out there where their parents want them to get married by a certain age. They're not allowed to do so and so.
It's the same for Arabs, by the way.
Yeah,
It's the same. I was about to say the same thing. Yeah, it's the same.
It's literally the
it's
same.
an Asian problem.
Yeah, it's an Asian problem. Like, kids by this times, you know. So I feel it boils down to the kid to make a decision of what they want to do.
Yeah.
Because back in school, I mean, I started becoming an A grade first class student in college, not in school, because school, they force you to study something that you don't want to. So if a fish judges its ability by like from a monkey, it'll be living its entire life thinking it's stupid.
It's stupid.
Yeah, so you know, I feel it's kind of on the kids, and it's really hard for them as well if they don't have supportive parents to find out what they want. Like, if they're good in math, fine. So that means that's your place to go. If they're not great in math or physics, that means you can't be a science student. You know, it is just that. And then I think it boils down to the fact that how should the kid get coached to coach their parents on how on why that is the career path that they have chosen. So I think that is is very important.
From a parent's perspective, the onus is on this village that you create. You know, I don't raise my children by myself. You know, obviously I'm a career woman, and so the problem with our societies right now is we spend way too much time working so that we can afford our kids things that we didn't have, right?
Yeah.
And so what happens is we are unable to be in the same space, and so it's just easy for us to just give them a screen and say, "Khalas, that's it." My kids have talked about YouTube quite a lot of times, you know, and they said that one of them wants to be a YouTuber, but I said, "Well, what are you going to YouTube about?" But he's also very passionate about football. And they play football 3 times a week, and so he's getting really good. So what we've combined now is the conversations and narratives on YouTube, where he can see techniques, where he watches the best players, where he can watch Captain Majid, you know, which is something really nice. And so now he's able to implement it impactfully there. And then I asked him, I said, well, to be on the YouTube space, what would you need, you know? And so his assumption is that you just need a phone and you can be on YouTube. I said, no, you need to research it. So equip your children with the fact that they can research to be what they want to be. So I'm not saying no to being in the social space. I'm just asking them to find out on their own how to get there.
Because you started the conversation with them.
Correct.
Yeah, I want, like,
Yes.
that is, everything that you said is so, like, sweet.
Yeah.
I want to, like, hug you right now. it's social distancing. I feel people really negate the digital space.
Yes.
People are not seeing it as an opportunity.
Yes.
Like, yes, it has its own pitfalls, but see the opportunity that the social space creates for you, not just you, your kids, because they are born into this digital age. And even as a digital strategy consultant, everything is moving digital now. Everything, because of human error as well, that where people have lost jobs, so like, digital is so important. People should really stop negating them. And even with influencers, like, you may hate them, but they're here to stay.
Yeah.
Of course.
And
they're
in
here
various
to stay.
And in various forms.
Yeah, in various forms, 100%.
All right, we got about 3-4 minutes to go. So I'm gonna quick answers. What are the advantages and disadvantages of being on social media or being an influencer? Noor.
I got used to being a public figure.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a plus for some people to get recognized or get attention. So I would say attention is always good.
Yeah.
Not always, honestly, I would say.
I've walked around with him. Lots of people stop him for photos. It's really annoying.
Not really. Okay, and the disadvantages is, like, you don't. That's why I always focus on, like, don't invade my personal life. My personal life. No one knows about my personal life. They don't know my family. They don't know my close friends.
Yeah.
So I try to draw lines. If you draw a line, you can be a happier person on social media. So I would say that.
The positives would be to have a voice, to spread positivity when you can, and raise awareness on things that needs to have awareness, and obviously the multiple opportunities that the doors open for you.
Of course, because you have the power.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not power, but yeah.
But it's sort of a power.
Yeah,
to have your own.
Yeah,
to
so
voice
you have your own voice.
Yeah,
Which is why I said, like, that was the first thing, because many people don't have it, and I want to be their voice as well.
Yeah.
And the biggest disadvantage would be, oh my God, the haters.
Yes.
Haters gonna hate, potatoes gonna potato. That's it.
Spoken like a true food.
Yeah.
What is it? And food engineering
Food
food
strategist.
engineer strategist. Like that's it. Like that's one con. The biggest, we can have an entire episode for
Yeah.
the haters.
Worst, maybe, I don't want to say worst, but maybe a couple of things that really put you off social. Noor. Or worst thing that's ever happened to you on social or because of social.
Well, I got used to it, so I don't know.
Where do I start?
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
people still asking about my age, nationality, if I'm married or not. Marriage proposals, for me, those things are so annoying.
Oh my God, I still get marriage proposals and everyone knows I'm
She
married.
just got married, yeah.
Like Jake is literally on my page, but you're still
so,
asking me
it's
out.
annoying. No,
It was a
it's
big
really,
hoo-ha. Like, I watched her entire wedding on social media.
and again, they ask,
And they
what's
ask
your
me to
height?
do
What's your weight? Like, no matter how
yeah.
you try to focus on, let's say, important stuff,
Yes.
people try to go shallow with you.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm with him on this because it's like whatever you do,
Yes.
I feel whatever you do, you'll get hate. Like that's that, anything that you do. I had a campaign with UNICEF to celebrate kids, and then there were moms who were so pissed and unfollowed me because I didn't choose their kids.
Oh, this happens all the time.
Yeah,
Fine.
like I'm confined to choosing just 5,
I'm
6
sorry,
people,
my face.
and they were like, "I'm unfollowing you right now," and I'm like.
Bye-bye.
Like haters gonna hate, potatoes gonna
potates.
potates.
I'm going to use that. All right. Final question before we close. What piece of advice would you give for, let's take into context everything that we've said and people really have listened from the start until the end. We're at 45 minutes right now.
I hope so.
Yeah.
What advice would you give them to sustain being in this space?
Don't follow trends. Don't follow trends. Do not follow trends. Trends are just like...
This
Well,
reminds me of like
I'm not
the
going to say
COVID.
anything.
You know the police
Wear
were like,
your
"All right,
mask."
wear
Because
your
everybody everyone thinks like, I have to follow trends to be on social media all the time. No,
Yes.
no,
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
yourself.
Be your trend.
Be your trend. Thank you. And if you want to copy paste others, I'm not against.
Yeah.
But put your own touch.
Yes.
The cherry on the top
Yes.
should be yours.
Everyone gets inspired by everyone.
That's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
true. Get inspired by others. Don't copy paste 100%. Just like add your own touch. That's it.
For me, I would say it's follow your gut feeling. Like that's that. Because it's your page, it's your life.
Yeah.
And you have your own gut feeling. So follow that because there's so many people who've said, no, don't do this, don't do that. And had I listened to them,
Yeah.
I would not be where I am today.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just follow your gut feeling and literally don't pay attention to haters.
Yeah,
And
agreed.
this advice is for me as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
don't pay attention to haters. Like
Okay, I'm giving this advice to myself.
I'm
as
still
well.
growing thick skin with
Can,
that.
can I say one more advice?
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
It's fine. Trying and failing is something super
Yeah.
natural. For 23 years in my life working on media, I still fail and I rise
Yeah.
and fail and rise, even on social media, and try. Because I get this a lot. I'm trying, but I don't know where to go. I'm lost. It's fine. Try
Agree.
everything. Try food blogging. Try fashion. Try
Do whatever
lifestyle.
you want.
Whatever
It's your
you
it's
want.
your life.
Yeah,
It's
It's
your
your
page.
platform.
No, because I remember my mom tells me till date, try and fail because if you don't try, you won't know if it
Yeah.
actually works and
and you
takes
Exactly.
off.
and you wouldn't know what would
I like
work
your
and
mom.
not. Yeah.
Yeah. So I always tell myself
Yeah.
that if I'm
Yeah.
really skeptical to try something
Yeah.
new, she's like, try and fail. Well,
Yeah,
like,
why not?
What do you lose? Nothing.
And just a note for a lot of people, like even if you try and fail, because the worst that can happen to you is that you're going to fall. The only other place is just rising up.
Yeah.
You're not going to go underground, you know? So,
Exactly.
And only if you allow others within your space to put you down is when you can go down. We have been talking about impactful, meaningful content. Also, how you can make money, because the point of this conversation is also that you don't get money. What is it? Or die trying. Get rich or die trying. Okay, let's not go with that song motto, right? Because social media, being in the social space, platforms, monetization, making money, you really need to first understand what the job market is all about, where your passion stays, your surroundings as well, your parents, your ecosystem, your education, your willingness to want to learn and do the hard work as well, change, diversify, try, fail, drop down, cry, detox, don't detox, do a UNICEF campaign.
Eat, pray, love.
Eat, pray, love, c'est la vie.
Yeah,
C'est la vie.
it's a very social media is a very new context in comparison to many other industries as well. It has a lot of opportunities, a lot of potential. And so if you're only thinking about going into the space to just make money, you have already failed. So make sure that you know that you have the opportunity of being in that space, and we all agree that it is a good space to be in if you use it in the right way. But just make sure that you understand what you're getting into. This has been so interesting. I think we could go on for another hour, but as true to the podcast world, we need to maintain a certain decorum with timing. So thank you, Nouraddin, and thank you, Naomi.
Thank you.
It has been fantastic. This is Aidil Bisaidi for Kef Connect, and see you next week.